Marcy Bullock here with Strengths. So excited about talking about strengths. So this is part one of our webinar on the Gallup Strengths Finder. If you are watching this, you should have completed the Strengths Finder and know your top 5 strengths. So log into Gallup and have that available for today's webinar. If you have not completed strengths, stop this webinar and go back and do that. Now, we are thinking about this road we are traveling on called life. We are thinking about our journey throughout college and understanding who we are and how to be satisfied in our transition to the professional world. This new language that you are learning in Gallup Strengths Finder will equip you to understand where your shoulders are broadest. It will puff your chest out with confidence as you move forward in reaching your goals. It's all about what makes you special. Each one of us has things that are innately coming easily to us where we don't even have to think about doing it. And when we work harder at doing it, it gets better and better, and it brings us so much satisfaction. So, in looking at your top 5 strengths, that is 100% what makes you special. Now, what you can complete the Gallup Strengths Finder 2.0, as I mentioned, and after you have completed it, you have the opportunity to look at Strengths Quest. It's called Strengths Finder, it's called Gallup Strengths. This is a 130 question assessment that you have just completed. And in this assessment, you are being asked about your behaviors, not your personality. That's a little bit different. And we can change our behaviors and improve them to be more successful in life. So we are using the Gallup Strengths Finder all over the globe based on decades of research. We can look at 34 different strengths that have been identified by Gallup. Talent versus strength. Let's look at our equation here. So when we talk about a strength and we use that terminology, we are looking at talent times strength plus knowledge. Talent times strength plus knowledge. We can apply our strengths in our academic pursuits in college, when we are actually in our job, when we are interacting with people in our personal life. Anytime we're job searching, we can use our strengths in a very positive way to get the best outcome possible. And we're also going to look, probably in a later part of this video, at our ability to use our strengths and understand our dominant leadership characteristics as they relate to 4 domains. So we've got lots of things to think about today. So we're starting off with understanding ourselves. We can all say what we're good at, but taking this assessment helps us to understand it at a different level and gives you just this whole new language to talk about your gifts, your talents, the footprint you'll leave on the planet. And as we identify our greatest strengths, this is our source for so much satisfaction and success. The instrument was originated out of positive psychology, developed over 30 years ago for businesses who wanted to get the most out of their employees. It makes sense, doesn't it? If people are at work doing what comes easily to them, they're going to be a lot more effective at work. And Gallup has done research on so many different people, like looking at all these interviews, and that's where they came up with the different theme of talent that you have identified. So you know your top 5, but there's 34 different themes. When we look at this, it's so staggering to think about all the people on the planet and the fact that the odds of someone having the same top 5 as you do in the same order, the odds of that is 1 in 33 million. So for me, I've got woo, empathy, strategic, activator, and arranger. Would someone else have those top 5 in that order? Probably be pretty unusual. So when you say your top 5, you can say them with so much confidence and think about how that sets you apart from everyone else. So we're looking at all these different terminologies, and I'm going back to that equation that I said to you, and I want to define it a little bit better now. So when I say the word talent, I'm thinking about this natural way of thinking, behaving, and feeling. It comes so second nature to you. You don't even have to think about it. Then we have to put in time. We have to invest time practicing and developing it and building our knowledge base. So, for example, I said one of mine is activator. That means I like to get things started and I'm the first person who's going to initiate some action. Let's make it happen. And I can get better at that by learning more and building on it. When you combine those two, you have the ability to consistently, almost nearly perfect performance. And that's what we're all trying to achieve. So let's think about the report card that you might have gotten. I don't know, let's just pick fifth grade. And if you had a report card like this, probably your family members might have said, work harder at math. You didn't do as well in math. What's going on in PE? Come on, can't you jump higher and run faster? And maybe your sibling got an A in physical education. It just came so much easier for that person. The harder they work at it, the better they're going to get at it. Now, I'm not saying you just ignore your weaknesses, but putting your effort into writing and reading and art and music, the things that really you did well at, that's where you're going to shine. So sometimes you make the mistake of saying, oh, I've got to get everything perfect. Look at a specific athletic team, like a basketball team. Everyone on that team isn't good at everything. They pick the thing that they are going to hone in on. Maybe they're going to be the free throw shooter. Maybe they're going to be someone who develops defense skills. Our talent, knowledge, skills, and strength. So now let's look again at this equation. So we are now looking at the ability to provide consistent, near perfect performance in a given activity. To build your strengths, you first identify your talents and then you add knowledge and skills. So let's think about reading through our 5 top strengths with the descriptions. When you go online, you will get an entire insights report that you can look. Just think about highlighting what really represents you. Cross out sentences that don't make sense to you if they don't apply, and use what you have underlined and take a post-it note and write down your name, your strength, and the adjective you use to describe this theme. This is based on your description. And you can connect with someone in class the next time we are together who shares one of your strengths. And you can discuss how you see it manifest in your life and even how it ties into your career goal. So, one of my top strengths I mentioned to you was communication. That is something I'm doing in this video today. I am articulating these concepts to you and trying to convey complicated information in an easy to understand way. So I chose a career that absolutely allows me to do that. So we have this 3 bubble stage process where we start with naming our strength. So that means we take those top 5 and we identify what it means to us when we're writing it down on the post-it note. And then we can claim it. We've defined it. Now we're actually appreciating this unique power and value that we bring to others. One of my strengths is empathy. So I will say, I'm going to name it. I can see and understand things from another person's point of view. And this gives me so much power because as a career coach, I want to understand how you as a student are struggling so that I can connect to you. And then I finally aim it. I flex my talents intentionally and practice using it to develop all of the sets of talent. So in my job, I'd be doing career coaching and getting better and better at using my empathetic skills. So we are going to conclude this video by looking at some of the different resources that are available to help you understand strengths. You can purchase any of these books depending on where you might like to use the Gallup Strengths Finder. And in part two, we are going to learn more about strengths. So tune back in.